To all of our local, regional and international viewers, thank you kindly for choosing us here at Real TV, where we bring reality to you. My dear friends, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Budusing Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, get your pen, get your notebook, Real TV, so you could take notes and important numbers that will be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Nathaniel Reed, on behalf of the team, would like to wish each and every one of you a terrific day today. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, the 20th of January, 2026. My friends, it is a day and time we will never, ever, ever have the opportunity to ever have again in life. Don't procrastinate. Don't waste your time. The last hour, the last minute, the last second, gone. Never ever to have again. That's how important time is, all right? If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. That's someone special. Don't take your loved ones for granted. Tomorrow is not promised, all right? I'd like to send out condolences to Dr. Nilesh Budusing and his family on the passing of his dear uncle, Mr. Amar Budusing, gone to the great beyond in the loving and tender arms of Bhagwan, and may he continue to rest in peace. And of course, condolences to you, Doc, and the entire family and friends, and of course from all of us here at Real TV. We understand and know this is a very fragile time, it's sensitive, and so we ask God to take control of the situation, all right? And let's go to our quote for today, please. Our quote says, "Never wait on anything from world when God has already promised you everything that the world can give you." All right? So always rely on God. And I always tell you, with God all things are possible. Don't wait. I always say, ask and you shall receive. But what is important is that you make the step to make things happen. Don't sit idly by. All right? Thank you so much for that, Nathaniel. This morning, I am in conversation with two young, brilliant people of this land. And, they are warriors, fighting and always there to be in the forefront to help those that are in need. So let me say good morning and a very warm welcome to Enrique Asun. He is the founder and executive director of the Youths in Action Foundation. And Alicia Edwards, she is the co-founder and director of operations and outreach. And they are about giving a voice to the voiceless. Miracles do happen, and we do have angels among us. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
It's really our blessing, and we're full of gratitude that you could take time off of your busy schedules. And I know you do a lot. You wear many hats, both of you, to come here and talk to us about this NGO that you formed.
Yes, we formed the NGO, and it's called Youths in Action Foundation. And our focus is on the youth of Trinidad, victims of domestic violence, and families that's just struggling and with no help. So we try to provide a platform so they could at least ask for assistance, and people would be able to see and reach out and provide some assistance to them.
Beautiful. Why? What ignited this flame? What ignited that first conversation with you two? And with your team, that we have to do something. Something is not right. And we want to make a difference. Because the fact is, it's time consuming. It's hard work. It's commitment. But the beauty is in the takeaways that you see, the smiles, the joy, when you could feed children, when
Correct.
you feed a home or send somebody to school. Things like that. But very often it's very simple for some people. It's just life, but that others it's a struggle and a real challenge that a lot of people are facing. So let's go back. What was it that really gave you that push or that spark or that energy to say we're going to make a difference?
Well, I will let Enrique answer this one because he was actually the person that came to me with the idea, because
Nice.
I guess during conversations he realized we were like-minded in certain things. So I'll let him take the lead on this one.
Sure.
Youth in Action would have started while I was back at secondary school.
Yeah.
Um, I would have been raised in a less fortunate family, like many of the people that we highlight,
Yeah.
right? And I was fortunate enough to come out of the situation at a very early age. I started working when I was 13. I had my own income and paying my way through the rest of secondary school.
I want you to put a pin right there. The fact is, you've been there, done that. You've experienced poverty or less than others. You've experienced what it is like perhaps to be without a meal or wondering how you're going to go to school tomorrow.
That's right.
And that brought you to the age of 13 to say, I'm going to make a difference, I'm going to work and help myself. I
Definitely.
applaud you for that.
Right.
13 years old, you know,
Yeah.
other 13 years old
They're
are
not
doing a
thinking.
million other things, they're not bothered. They're not thinking about how can I make a difference to buy a bread to feed my family, and that is applaudable. Please.
So while I started paying my way through the rest of secondary school, I'd also noticed there were other children like me, and would have started just by buying lunch, would have evolved into buying a school bag, stationaries, sometimes a uniform. And through the evolution, I got to a better place financially. I started working somewhere else that afforded me the resources to help more. And an initial group of friends then, while still at school, we're now at CXC level now, decided we're gonna start this group. We're gonna help as much of our peers as we can. And that went on for about a year or so until after graduation. But people get their own lives and stuff. So during that time, Youth in Action, while it was founded, it also came to as a short break. It didn't die then. We continued, but we weren't able to reach as much as we could. Until about 2 years ago, I would have met Alicia, and we would have had conversation, and like she said, we realized that we have the same vision when it comes to helping people, and we just started Youth in Action again from there.
Divine intervention, you're meeting.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I-
you know, Enrique, I always say, there are people that will come into our lives for a season, and there are people that will come for a lifetime. Whether it's a season or a lifetime, they come for a reason and purpose. They cross our path for a reason and purpose. Don't you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he just walked in because I was in the bar at the time, and I would do little things in the community. And one day he just walked in and he was like, "Hi, I'm Enrique, and I really like what you're doing, and I think we should do some work together." And I'm like, okay, because being there, you hear all types of things, people coming in. So I really didn't take him seriously. And then he came back the next day, and then the next day, and then I was like, okay, he's serious. Like
Persistence.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So that's when we decided to put our heads together and just see how we could help people within the community. And then we developed the social media platform. So then I said, I think we need a camera guy because it's like we're trying to do it with the phone, but if we have someone that can go with us, and then we could really capture the moments and just post it and let people see what's going on within their community, then that would be a good thing. And then we did it, and we were just surprised by how much support we got from the public, just willing to help people that they don't even know.
People like yourselves. This is an NGO. The fact is, you have to find funds to
Right.
build, or you have to find things to be in order to help. And yes, I always say Trinidadians are and Tobagoans are very warm, giving people. They would give you some food if you ask them. That's the truth. If, can I have a water? They will. Once they can afford it, they will. That's the beauty of it. Corporate world now is locking down a lot. They used to give a lot, but we're in difficult times and challenging times.
Right.
So every little counts.
Yes.
What are some of the highlights in terms of how old is this organization?
We would say it's about maybe a year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay. What are some of the highs in terms of this was worth it?
Every time, just like, okay, last week we had a family. They had nothing. We met the mother in, I think it was Randy.
Yeah, we met. Well, Actually, I was just coming from another meeting,
Yeah.
and I was in the car passing, and I saw her with a sign in front of an ATM in San Grande. And I called Alicia. I was like, Alicia, I think I have a story for us. Let's go and see what's happening with this mom and see how best we can get help for her. And I got home. Alicia met me. We went back to San Grande. Met the mom. And he was like, you want to talk to us here or you want to go home? Reluctantly, she's like, let's go home. She had other things to do that day after. And we talked about it. It's like, because we don't really know where they live and so on. So we went in blindly. And it was a really good thing we did that because when we got there, broke her hearts. She has it's 3 children. And,
Single parent? Or she had a...
she has a husband, but due to he lost his job, so the economy it didn't treat them too well. They were starting to build and stuff and get yourself out of the situation they're in, but then they're falling right back down. And when we got there, it just the terrain, the road, the track to get there, heart just started to shatter bit by bit. We saw the children and so on. We heard their story. We have highlighted it, we posted it, and basically immediately we got response.
Yes.
We got a response from an organization that prefers to call themselves the Ghost of Charity.
Oh.
Yeah. And they got the supplies to them. And the
Food supplies?
Food supplies. The night before they dropped the supplies, no, the day after was her daughter's birthday. So they also dropped some toys and stuff for one of the daughters. And so we got the call that they received the stuff. We went across to see them. And she and the husband were just so thankful. She was like, I'll have to go out today and ask nobody for anything, you know. I could stay home and spend some time with family. Her daughter got the stuff. And so moments like that.
Things
yeah.
that we often take for granted,
Yeah.
that it means the world. And that child, I'm sure, will remember this birthday for a lifetime and beyond. It's a story that she will tell to her grandchildren that will pass on. The fact is, there are people who are really facing trying times. The fact is, sometimes we see people like that and we say in our minds, or maybe, well, why they can't go and look for a job? Or why they can't do something to better, they have to stay and beg and whatever.
Yeah.
But we really do not know the true situation before we judge, and very often we are very sharp and quick to judge.
Yes.
But we need to have, now that you whatever led you or drew you to that particular situation, it was a really authentic case that they really genuinely needed help.
Yeah.
My concern is those 3 children. How old are the children?
1, 2, and 11. So
A 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an
Yeah.
11-year-old. Is the 11-year-old, is that child going to school?
she's going to school,
Oh,
and we asked about her. Her mom said she gets good reports and stuff.
Nice.
I took it a step further and I reached out to the school for feedback, and they did in fact have nothing but good things to say about the child. And she's writing a CA next year.
Great.
Right? Yeah. So
I think it's important in cases like that. Yes, food and clothing and school supplies, extremely important. But I'll also ask, I think it's also important to have, like your good self, been there, done that, could relate, could understand, to motivate that child and be an angel in her life. Because what that, or his or her, I'm not sure. The reason I'm saying this is because very often history repeats itself. In your case, I don't know what it was that motivated you at 13 to say, I don't want to be like this, I want better for myself. The power of you having that, putting it out there, but not just saying it, but making it happen. It didn't matter what job you did at that point. It supplied something. It made it fill a void, and it helped. And I don't know what it is that motivated you, but the fact is, because this child is in this current situation and you really want to break that cycle, you want to break that, it's about empowering this child by even motivating this child, getting this child perhaps in a youth group or in a place where this child could see beyond and understand the greatness and potential for him or her, So perhaps that's something you could incorporate, because I know you're also doing law things like that, I think, also very important.
It is, yes,
Yeah?
you're correct.
So perhaps you could explore that option as well.
We've actually engaged some organizations to help with those services as well too.
Brilliant.
Like you rightly said, it's one thing with just giving a man a fish,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Right. So we want to
Yeah.
teach people to fish as well
Yeah,
too.
even find an avenue, whatever strength the father has with regards to capabilities, to try to find a job.
Well, he said since we highlighted their story, he received a number of calls
Oh,
offering him
Yeah.
work. 'cause
great.
And he was very grateful for that
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
Because I think even when Enrique called to let
Yes.
them know we would be coming over, she
Yeah.
said, well, don't come now, come later. Someone
Yeah.
called him on a job, so he won't be available.
Excellent.
So we don't only want to highlight persons that need help in terms of just needing supplies and stuff.
Yeah.
But even what we also do if there are young persons who doesn't have the skill to create a resume or anything like that,
Beautiful.
or to sit in a job interview, we offer that as well too.
Brilliant.
You know?
Brilliant, excellent. And I think that's awesome. That's wonderful, because now the joy of that man being able to get a paycheck,
Yeah.
to be able to go to the supermarket or wherever and pick up food for his family, that is empowering to him.
It
You
is.
know, it gives him back his power as the head of the home. His wife doesn't have to go out there begging. Even the two little ones, I'm sure, may have to go with her at times or things like that. So I think that is a beautiful story. It's one that's quite fulfilling. And then, when you look at that, the takeaway for you all, even listening to it, is that you made a difference in
Yeah.
the life of this family. And that's where you start and take it from there. This is a program, Conversations with Zelisa. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation. Stay with us.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Join me, your host, Smitty, on A Man's Perspective, right here on Real TV from 6 to 7 p.m. every Monday. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Naka, introducing to you Bridging the Gap, where we touch on the news, discuss social issues and current affairs with a twist. Every Monday to Friday in a real time, right here on Real TV.
I am Zelisa Singh Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa, right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, regional, international viewers. Those of you on Tego, the app, Thanks for choosing us, allowing us to be part of your moment, adding value, perhaps seeing things in a different perspective, thinking outside of the box. And so perhaps the next time you see someone in need, you'll be kind enough to give whatever you can. Yeah? In conversation with Enrique Asun and Alicia Edwards, and they're talking about their NGO, Giving a Voice to the Voiceless. The name of the NGO?
Youth
Yeah,
in
it's Youth in
action.
Action.
Youth in Action. Youth in Action. And I like that action, making things happen. Things are always happening. Consistency. It started with a negative that went into a positive, because the fact is you've had this negative experience that brought you, and they always say experience is a great teacher. And you being there, done that, realize at 13, well, I want more. I am not going to stay stagnant at all. And so you went on to work to help yourself out of that situation. And I guess because of the kindness of your heart as well, you connect with people in need. You feel you want to give back. You've been involved in many different things. And I see that you're not stagnant at all.
No.
You wear many hats. It means you're very ambitious in thinking.
Yes.
And that's a good thing. But what motivates you?
So I think in conversation we had before, I spent most of my time abroad. And I recently had to return to Trinidad due to a family illness. So with doing that, I had to take over his business, and it put me directly in the action, having to interact with everybody in the community. And I realized that within the community that we live, there's a lot of kids that's just not in school. They're just hanging out all day, then they're getting into petty crimes, and petty crimes lead to big crimes. And then the females, there's a lot of teenage pregnancy. And so it's a lot for me coming from an environment where we have it, but it's covered.
Yeah.
So returning to Trinidad, and it's just in my face.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of drove me to say, one person can make a difference. If I can talk to one youth and get them maybe to get a job, and just, this is not the life you want to go down. Or if I could speak to one female and, like we discussed earlier, help her to get a resume and get a job, and just try to make something out of life, because we only have one life to live. So let's make the best of it. But that's what drove me to want to get involved in something like that.
Seeing is believing firsthand.
Yes.
Must have been alarming from one extreme to the next.
It was a culture shock, because
Yeah.
I sometimes say, am I from Trinidad? Because I don't remember it being like this when I was growing up.
But the thing is, going for a holiday and living life in that environment or in that place is completely different. So, I remember on one of my visits to Dubai, you see all the glamour and the glitz, and you see all the beautiful buildings, and you're in wow, everything is wow, wow, wow. But then when we were driven to the place where all the migrants or the workers live, it was one extreme to the next, and you're saying, this really exists here? So there's a truth behind everything, or two sides. You talk about firsthand seeing young girls being pregnant, unwanted pregnancies, not even knowing who the father is,
Right.
seeing children not going to school, with no direction in life. And I see that as, that's not poverty as far as I'm concerned. That is a lack of education.
Because sometimes they're probably kids to parents that were teenage pregnancy as well. So who's there to teach them? Who's there to direct them? So it's just generation after generation just falling by the side, and no one is stepping in to try and break the chain and said, there's so much more in life. This is not it.
Absolutely correct. History keeps repeating itself. And so the ones that are abused, they're going to go on to have kids, and their kids are going to get in relationships that are abusive as well.
Yes.
How do we break that? Education.
Education.
Is power. Knowledge is power. and so we
Yes.
make better choices and decisions. And I think you're stepping in at one home at a time. Of course, it's going to grow, but you take every advantage with that one home in order to empower that home. I like the fact that now that you've posted, the father now can get a job.
Yes.
That child now, or enjoy a birthday, but there's so much more that they have to plan to put things
Yes.
in place. Where in terms of your Youths in Action, what are some of the plans for the future?
So first we want to be able to get the word out to more people that we are here. You can call us. We provide a platform. There's help. We also want to get involved in providing skills and training to younger children, well, not children, but to teenagers, so they could at least have something that they can market to becoming employable. And then Enrique had some more ideas that he was bringing to the table.
In addition to that, especially where as young mothers are concerned, realize that, as Alicia would have said, some of the teenage mothers come from teenage mothers. And when we speak to them and we ask, well, why make the decision to leave school to go and be with someone, have a child, is usually because of that they come from an abusive household and they found comfort in the arms of someone else that's usually way older than them. And now they find themselves in that situation and they have a child. So we also want to start, not necessarily a shelter or so, but have a facility where we can house teenage mothers coming out of situations like this. Also teach them a skill that can make themselves marketable and employable, so they can be independent, so they're not dependent on the individual that they've gone with and end up having a child, or not be dependent on the family they ran from that got them in the situation that they're in the first place. So that's one of our long-term goals as well too.
And that's also it's a social issue with regards to proper parenting. Proper parenting, you said having children, that's a fact.
Yeah.
You said something that's very important and very true and very deep, and that is these young girls are going to men that are older, perhaps already married with children or grandchildren in some cases, and they abuse the authority of being a sugar daddy. Sometimes girls go with somebody just because they tell them they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And sometimes girls go as well because they will get a chicken and chips.
Yes.
And or doubles, it's as simple as that, or
Some
go
sort
to
of
the
luxury,
movies.
That
Exactly.
we didn't have before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is why, in terms of starting in the home with proper parenting, ensuring that you make the right choice when you choose a partner to be the mother or father of your children. Do a little homework, I
Yes,
say.
absolutely.
Do a little homework and understand, is this the person that is going to help me to be a good mother, or to partner with me, that we'll have good children and a nice home, and we'll have a good future together. I don't want to be from this one to that one. No, it's about empowering people from the home and being better parents, making wiser choices. So it starts with a lot of educating, and I'm hoping that that the government and when in the school system and things like that, they'll start doing a little more intervention there earlier to break that chain, to break it.
Even something like family planning.
Of course.
A lot of these girls, they don't go to the clinic, they don't get their pap smear. It's just so much that could be done that's not being done.
Using a condom.
Yes.
A simple thing as using a condom. Prevention is better than cure. Are
Yes.
you really ready to be a mother when you are still a child? You need a mother. So how can you then be a good mother to your children?
Right.
So it's also a social thing that we really need
Yes.
to get some proper educating in. This is a program, Conversations with Zelisa, right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Macon Construction Company Limited. Save big whilst building stronger. We build with our Macon innovative building systems, which provides high wind speed, earthquake, sea blast and fire resistance, is thermally and acoustically insulated, provides improved construction timelines and cost savings. We provide construction services from design to finish and everything in between. Macon Construction Company Limited, building green today with tomorrow's technology. Contact or visit us today.
Hi, I'm Joanne Ogaru, and welcome to Smart Talk. SMART is the acronym for the Single Mothers Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
And I am Melissa Brown. Smart Talk exists to give single mothers and families real conversation, real data, real advocacy.
And I am Shermaine Wickham Howe, President and founder of the Single Mothers Association, highlighting all issues affecting single mothers, facts, situation, solution, empowerment. So tune in at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. every Wednesday on Real TV with Smart Talk.
Ready to take your sales career to the next level? If you have a passion for connecting with clients, building meaningful relationships, and delivering results, we want you on our team. Join a dynamic, motivated environment where your experience matters, your ideas are valued, and your drive defines your success. Step into a role with real opportunity. Join the sales team at Real TV, where your future begins.
Call us today at 2926470 or WhatsApp us at 3847142. You can also send an email to realtv.corporate@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. The fact is, the real truth is there are people who are really genuinely struggling in this country, and we've got some really good people that are willing to step out of their comfort, of their circle, of their cushions, of their safety, to go beyond that to help others in need. I'm speaking of no other than Enrique Asun and Alicia Edwards, and they are very much part of this wonderful NGO, and the name of the NGO is
Youth in Action.
Youth in Action. But the beauty is that you, and the truth is that you help so much more than just the youth. Perhaps they claim they are the youths in action, and we are youths in our hearts, right? I always say that. I'm young forever.
We've helped the physical youths and the youths at heart as well too.
Beautiful. Talk to us about some of the cases that you would have met with firsthand.
So a case that's fresh in our memories is over the weekend, a concerned citizen, a neighbor, she called and she said, Alicia, I really need you to come and visit this lady. She lives not too far from me. I said, so what's the situation? She said, well, she's in a wheelchair and she's in a really bad state. I said, all right, no problem. So we did visit, and it was a really bad situation.
Could you share a little detail so that we could understand? When you say bad situation, what do you mean?
So it's an elderly woman. She lives with her husband. Her husband is visually impaired. Because of her condition, not being mobile, she's not able to go to the pension office. So she has yet to receive her pension because she has no means of going there. Her husband receives pension. It's $3,000 a month. Her medication for the month is $2,500. So they now have to decide every month if they should buy medication or food. And I asked, where are your kids? She said, well, my kids are here, but they're grown and they have their lives. So I don't really want to burden them. She needs a nurse to come to the house because her husband is blind. She can't really get from her bed to the bathroom.
She's in a wheelchair.
The wheelchair is falling apart.
Well, I have some good news for you. Ask and you shall receive. Right? Ask and you shall receive. Put it out there. On a Wednesday, we have Mr. Chanka Ramtal. He's a social welfare advisor.
Okay.
What qualifies for him to be an advisor is because he's been part of the system for many years. He's social welfare supervisor for many, many years. So he's been part of it, experience and knowledge. And so he's here every Wednesday sharing information with people, relevant information when it comes to all of the grants and all of the things that, that our citizens in need can get help.
Okay.
So I'm certainly going to make that connection to ensure that that family gets
Oh
some
my
help.
God, we will be most grateful because
Yeah.
even after we leave here, we're going to buy, someone donate some money to buy groceries. So we're going to go buy the groceries and take it to her and her husband.
So that's one.
Bless you all, and I'll be more than happy to share the information with you so that you could now take the lead. I'll give you Mr. Amtahal's number.
Please.
You can call him. I myself will call him and let him know that he has to ensure that we get some help for this family. And there are many grants that they can qualify
Okay.
for. The husband already receiving pension. I don't know if they're diabetic or different things. Even in getting someone, she's in a wheelchair that will go in and help them for at least 3 months. And you know, I want to say this. I'm not pointing fingers, but I honestly think, and I'm entitled to my perspective, that children should be a little more loving and have a little more gratitude and care for their parents.
They should.
Once a man, twice a child. And when they were small, I'm sure the parents made every effort to ensure that they provide. They held their hand when they fell down, get up and walk again, thus, you know, made sacrifices to put food on the table, whatever it is. Show some gratitude, especially when you have a father who is blind and a mother who's in a wheelchair. Make every effort to try. I don't think there's any excuse in the book that they could give me. More so if it's more than one and you have 2 or 3 children, they could get together and decide this is how we're going to work things out together as a family. You don't abandon, but rather you take care of.
Take care, yeah.
So God is real, miracles happen. You're miracle working people. For some reason, that situation got into your path, and together I will try my very best to see how we can intervene and help us.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, because this is what it's all about. And these are the cases that are real and people really live with in this country.
And that's why, I mean, on the topic, that's how we help by giving a voice to the voiceless. Because in addition to Ms. Judith, because one of the concerns is she didn't know how to even get in contact with social welfare. And we see that a lot. A lot of the persons that we highlight, they don't know how to get in contact with their elected officials, or even if they do, they're not taken seriously.
Well, I'll tell you something here, and people may think I'm lashing out today. But that's where, that is the job and duty and responsibility of your member of parliament. When the election fever was hot, everybody was all over the place, meeting, greeting, kissing, going in your yard, giving your flag, giving you whatever, making every promise in the world. But every member of parliament should know every citizen in their area. It is their duty and responsibility to know, okay, have an old lady living on the hill by herself there when rainy season, make sure we check the wherever, get the windows, make sure the grass is cut, make sure the house not leaking. Isn't it?
Yeah. It's supposed to be.
That's the way it's supposed
I mean,
to be.
that's what we're doing on the campaign trail, right? So you should have that data already.
So they should know who that lady is. They should know that that lady's in a wheelchair and her husband is blind and we need to get them a little thing. Or that is where they're supposed to have the information for say, okay, let's get social welfare involved, or let's see how we can help you make that connection. That is your responsibility. That's why we put them there. So when I hear things like this, it really upsets me, because the point is, I know I'm also saying it is the duty and responsibility of children, but it's also the duty and responsibility of the member of parliament to ensure that they have, because they have a group of people working with them.
And we can say 90% of the people that we highlight, that's usually what's echoed.
Yes,
they reached out, they got no help, and
they're still waiting.
Yeah, right. We even see in some cases, like there's a lot of grants and stuff available for free. You don't even have to pay a administrative fee, right? And they don't know about it. Where I worked before, we help people with grants and stuff. And when I'm telling people, well, you can access this service, that service, is like, for real? Yeah, you know? So we see that, and these are things that the elected officials should be helping with.
These are the things that Real TV is taking responsibility. Every Wednesday, Mr. Shankar Ramtahal is here. And he's been doing that for years on my show Conversations. And he doesn't get $1 to do it. He's doing it with the kindness and goodness of his heart. And like you, there are many people who are willing to do that as well. You know? What are some of the things that, in terms of the near future, that, you know?
The NGO. In the near future, we want to have more community outreaches. So touching back on the fact that there are a lot of people that aren't aware of the services available for them. So some of the organizations we're partnering with want to bring them into the various communities.
Brilliant.
So you can now get educated on what you can access and so on. Because what we've also seen too, other organizations posing as NGOs, they're coming into communities and they're charging people $250 to fill out a self-help grant form that's free.
That's unfortunate, and I think that's where the authorities should get involved and, and that's a very good point that you've raised there. A lot of people are genuine, and then there are a lot of people are doing it. They live in life large, they travel, they eat in the best, they eat in restaurants, and living life large, but living it on other people's strength, and I think that is wrong.
Another initiative we want to do, because I mean, education is key.
Yes.
Right, education is your way out of poverty.
Absolutely correct.
We've realized that there's also a lot of young people, primary school and secondary level, their current situation at home affects their education, and they're not getting the attention they need at school, so we want to have somewhat of a homework center.
Brilliant idea.
We've actually gone ahead. I think later on this week we should finalize at least on a space for that.
Brilliant.
So they can look forward to that coming in due time as well too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And you know, I said it yesterday, I was in conversation with Mr. Ibrahim Ali, who is the president of the San Juan Business Association, Justice of the Peace as well. And yesterday I was in conversation with him, and I've said it before on numerous occasions. I also think it is the duty and responsibility of the mosques, the churches, the temples in every community to take the initiative to educate the people that attend and the children. Have extra school, have the teachers or whomever do extracurricular activities in an evening. Bringing people from Alcoholic Anonymous, bringing people from battered women, the single women. Bring in people with strengths, even like your good self, who are willing to educate and empower people and say, okay, come if you need to, let us teach the children who are now doing exams and when they're finished they're looking for a job, how to dress, how to speak, how to attend an interview, how to empower themselves. These are places have a database that, okay, these people are looking for a job. And right now, eat little and live long. So if you get a little job to cash, go on cash. Yeah. If you get a little job to go on pack shelves, do it. Whatever it takes to help yourself or to help your family, do it until you can do better. And you always achieve to do better. You didn't stay stagnant. You continue to empower yourself. You didn't stay stagnant. You live abroad for all these years. You came back. You're involved in your business and many other things now in this NGO. And on top of that, you are studying law. I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
That is a perfect example of a woman who is out for success and growth. Well put together, well spoken. You're gainfully employed. You can say, well, I'm not bothered. I could go on party, I could go on the beach, I could go on Lime, I could go and do whatever. But you choose to do positive things. And that is applaudable.
Thank
Giving
you.
back to your country.
Yes.
That's awesome. We're going to take a short break. And when we return, we're going to talk about how you, Trinidad and Tobago, can help in whatever way you can. All right? Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32 Saddle Road, Maraval.
I am Avinash Singh, former Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. I will be hosting the next Harvest, a forward-looking agricultural TV series exploring innovation, resilience, and opportunity across the Caribbean farming landscape. Join me right here on Real TV every Wednesday at 9 a.m. with repeats. See you soon.
I am Zelisa Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Ready to take your sales career to the next level? If you have a passion for connecting with clients, building meaningful relationships, and delivering results, we want you on our team. Join a dynamic, motivated environment where your experience matters, your ideas are valued, and your drive defines your success. Step into a role with real opportunity. Join the sales team at Real TV, where your future begins.
Call us today at 292-6470 or WhatsApp us at 384-7142. You can also send an email to realtv.corporate@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. I'm in conversation with Enrique Asun and Alicia Edwards, and of course they are part of the Youths in Action Foundation. This is an NGO where they go out and they really assist those in need. They go beyond the call of duty to ensure that our citizens are provided for. And having this conversation with them, realizing that they, I'm sure now realizing that there's so much more that they can do and they will be doing in the near future. Yeah. I think it is important that we continue to share the important and relevant information with not just my viewers, but you in your community. And knowledge is power, sharing that knowledge. And that takes action.
Yes.
That takes commitment. It takes money.
Yes.
Because you may get somebody to say, okay, I wouldn't charge you to fill out some forms, but at least give me the money to get to and from. How do you do that? You can't dip into your pockets because you also have your own duties and responsibilities. How much can you yourself give? In terms of action, when you talk about action and we talk about not staying stagnant, what are your direct ways in terms of consistency? And I like the fact that you're not doing beyond what you can't do. You control what you do, and if it's one family at a time or one case at a time until it's that consistency of getting help for that one case and then moving on. So you don't start something, ignite a little flame and leave it to die. You have to work, you have to be persistent in order to spend some time into just, not just giving a hamper of food, but so much more as you realize, you know. What are the immediate in terms of action and moving forward with that action? What is next to come? Or how do you go about in terms of getting more enabling you, ensuring that you can now give more?
So families that we highlight prior to posting a vision and so on, we assess them. We try to the best of our capabilities, because to determine what is the assistance they need, right? And through our partners, we see how best that they can assist, right? So in the case that maybe someone, while they're down and out, if they get stable employment, you have some organizations that will be able to assist with that. If it's a situation where they need to continue their education, we also have organization, well, not organization, but some individuals willing to offer those services as well too, to assist with that. Right? So when we post the story, like what I've had to comment on one of our commenters saying we're only doing it for fame. Yes, that's not what we're doing it. When we post a story, it's so that the public will be aware of what the situation, and they can help beyond where we can help as well too.
That's a nice idea in terms of you understanding, we understand the importance of social media and how the messages can get out there. But I think where the duty and responsibility is, if we see it on social media, we see a story and you know that you have a wheelchair in a garage park up under a cloth. It's a dust collector, or you know, you have a simple thing as a walking stick. Or a grandparent would have passed on and you have all the things that you can, and you have a bed. Whatever you have that you could give that will help somebody, rather than it park up and as a dust collector, reach out to organizations such as yourself and help. You know?
Because what we've also seen too, some organizations that are assisting the families that we highlight, they'll tell us, well, you know, usually I just do this here and here, and it's the same family and over. You know, people have resources, but they don't know where to share the resources.
Right.
And that's what our platform provides. Right? So the world, whoever can know, hi, hey, you can help here too.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have to be this one area. Right? Because there are people, surprisingly, it surprises us as well too, there are people eager to branch out from where they are to spread their charity.
Yeah.
And they don't know what have people up there, you know, because they're always just...
You have a walker that you're not using and you have no intention to use it, give it away to somebody who could go and get a job every day and clean somebody, cut somebody grass. You know, simple things. You have a little stove or a little oven that you're not using because you upgrade yours, and that's nice. We put things in place to upgrade and have nice things, but don't leave it there. If you know it, have a lady in your community there that you know she's bake real good bread or good sweet bread or pone or whatever. Give it to her and say, girl, bake some and try and see if you could sell or what you could do on an evening. Simple things that people could do that we often take for granted that could help others, to empower others. You know, it's about giving. You have a thrift shop as well.
I do.
People have clothes parked up, you know, just there. The kids not using it or you not using it. You know what, sometimes we just say, I use it, I don't like it for whatever reason, or overuse it. You know, somebody would be grateful to wash that and use it and make the best. They go into a little interview and they know get a little job and they need little clothes and they can't afford, how grateful they will be. Give. And when you give, you're making room. God will provide, you know.
On, I think it was Sunday, we went to another family and she had 5 kids and she doesn't have a stove. She says sometimes she makes a fireside and she cooks, or if not, they just eat out every day. And it's hard for her because the father's not helping. And it was, I would never, like, because you know, we're just living our lives. I wouldn't actually think that somebody's actually living without a stove and making a fireplace in their house because they don't really have a yard space just to cook to provide for their kids. Some of the stories we hear is just like wow moments, like wow, this is really happening in Trinidad.
And there are cases where people could get grants or assistance for things like that, you know.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Again, knowledge is power. So I'm really grateful that you all took the time today to come, inform, educate, and empower us, enlighten us where we see things. And you know, sometimes just listening or watching people such as yourselves and what you do is an eye-opener for us to have a little appreciation and gratitude for what we have. Because we so want more and we so need more. And that's okay if you aim for things and you want to change and you want nice things and you work towards it. You're entitled to that. But, you know, always think outside of the box and think about helping somebody along the way. because you never know. You never know. We never know what tomorrow will bring, you know. Your closing comments, Enrique.
Well, I'd like to share how persons can get in contact with us, anyone willing to assist. They can call us or WhatsApp us at 7938409, or they can email us at youthsinaction26@gmail.com. You can find us on social media at Youths in Action Foundation. And I just want the public and the viewing public to know that there are people out there that need assistance and need guidance. We touch a lot on being stagnant. And we realize that the reason why most individuals are stagnant is because they don't have the guidance, right? So if you could be your brother's keeper and guide somebody and point them in the right direction so they can get out of the situation, then that will be great. Just takes a simple act of kindness. It doesn't need to come from your wallet. It just come from your heart. Some words of inspiration to motivate someone.
So true. Sometimes I like that you said that, because that is so true. Sometimes you yourself may be struggling and it's difficult to give, but you just give that person a word. Good morning, and don't worry, this moment will pass, this day will pass. You can't give up. A simple hope. I love that, Enrique. So sometimes it's not about the material things that we give, but we give ourselves and we give a genuine advice to somebody. Genuinely, hey, you know, I see so and so, and I'll get in your business, but I'd like to advise you. Perhaps if you do this or do that, you know, or you have knowledge of something, or like you say, you could fill out a form for somebody, or you know the know-how of something. Don't keep that to yourself. Share it. You know, and that is beautiful. I like that idea.
No
as well.
gatekeeping.
It's a brilliant one. Yeah, exactly. Be the light in somebody's life, you know. Please, your closing remarks.
Well, just to piggyback on what Enrique said, it does not have to be monetary. Even sharing, like going on our social media and sharing our flyers, that helps a lot, letting people know that there is a place you can go and people that's willing to assist you and help you just get out of whatever situation you're in. So just feel free to reach out. We're just a phone call away, and that's all I have.
Well, I want to say congratulations to you both, and I want to thank you for doing what you do. And may God continue to bless you, to guide you, to give you the strength, because there are cases that you may encounter that God may send your way or may enter in your path, and you know it's difficult, and you have feelings, and you know, so that you could always be the sunshine in the lives that you get in contact with, to make a difference in their lives, to elevate, to help in whatever way. And I will tell you this, you know, that's what Real TV is about, reaching out and educating. I ask people all the time, like and share, not because I want people to see me, but because the information is so rich, is so valuable that we share here. Free advice, that the knowledge that you gain, and if you know somebody who you know, need that knowledge, then all you have to do is share or say, hey, you need to watch that show, you need to watch Real TV, because they are about empowering and helping people. That will make the difference in somebody's life. And if we all take that little to ourselves duty and responsibility, you know, we all can make a difference in our own little way in so many lives. So may God continue to bless you both as you grow from strength to strength in all your endeavors. And I'm trusting and hoping that we'll see and hear more of you here on Real TV. All right? Choices, blessings. Thanks again. And in whatever way we can assist, we will certainly try. And please share your number one more time.
So the number you can reach us at is 793-8409, or you can reach us via email at youthsinaction26@gmail.com, or you can find us on any social media platform at Youths in Action Foundation.
And I will go the extra mile to ask, please, if you know you have a wheelchair that you're not using, a bed that you're not using, a mattress that you're in good condition, you can't get people, whatever you have, clothes, wash it and pack it and have it neatly, because it can help. What you take for granted or you no longer use, it's going to be a treasure for somebody else and families, all right? You could very well help those to go back to school and educate children by simply helping with books, with stationery supplies, whatever you have. If you could afford to buy an extra and give it, then do it. please, all right? So remember that number, write it down in your diary. That's why I remind you all to get a diary. 793-8409. Be the sunshine in somebody's life. Thank you. We'll see you all soon. This is where we're going to wrap things up today. Please, I remind you to be good, law-abiding citizens. Do what is right at all times. The choices you make today will determine your tomorrows, all right? Give if you can. Keep smiling. Be positive, and always know the best is yet to come. More importantly, with God, and only God, all things are possible. I am Zelisa Rupani. Thanks for choosing us. Keep smiling, all right? See you tomorrow.